Welcome back to this week's edition of Q News. I'm Shreya Rana.
And I'm Lisbeth Ramirez. As students watch the arena's grand opening, many are excited for the upcoming basketball season.
As Emily Putnam tells us, there's a lot more than basketball to look forward to.
High Point University's Quabain Center is nearing open, where students are growing eager for the upcoming basketball season and more. Construction began in the late fall of 2018, where students and faculty watched the groundbreaking ceremony and the plan of the Quabain Arena begin to come to life. The Quabain Arena includes a small hotel adjacent to the arena, as well as the conference center. The conference center was geared to further open the door for students majoring in hospitality and event planning. Seating up to 2,500 individuals, student groups and other organizations are expected to have state-of-the-art presentations and other abilities for their extraordinary education. The arena is also expected to become the location of venue for major events to happen on campus, such as speakers, concerts, and even graduations. While fall semester is currently underway, basketball season is surely approaching. Sarah Molnar, a senior who has been a loyal fan of the Panthers basketball teams all 4 years, shares her excitement.
I definitely think the energy will be different in the new arena in comparison to Millis. It's already getting students excited, and I think the student turnout will bring even more spirit into the games. So here's hoping for great seasons to come.
Home to High Point's men's and women's basketball programs, the arena holds 4,500 seats for eager fans to watch their Panthers play. Luxury suites, staff offices, concession stands, top-tier locker rooms, weight rooms, training rooms, and a practice gym all will be included in this $170 million facility. The Quabain Center will open for the first time for the men's basketball team to take on Mount Olive on November 4th at 7. For Q News, I'm Emily Putnam.
For more information on the basketball season, check out highpointpanthers.com.
The High Point University Memorial Bulb Garden continues to bloom this year in commemoration of 9/11. The garden was established on campus by the Student Government Association in 2001, beginning as just a daffodil garden. Today, 20 years later, it features at least 500 resurrection lilies and spider lilies. The spider lilies specifically bloom red and white as a nod to patriotism. This garden is a focal point of campus.
Up next, another brand new building is under construction. Stay tuned to find out why children will outnumber the adults there.
And the Darling Hall change that has many HPU students rowdy. That's next on Q News.
How am I going to pay for this?
The Quabain Center is not the only new building opening up, but as Reese Allen reports, this one's for the kids.
From the Nito and Mariana Quabain Children's Museum. Come check it out as we get a sneak peek.
The Nito and Mariana Quabain Children's Museum broke ground in 2019 and is set to open very soon, and is part of a larger initiative to build up the greater High Point community, both educationally and economically. At 75,000 square feet, the museum is 2 floors full of interactive exhibits ranging from an exercise fit lab, a Mars Academy, a water play area, and more. The museum's marketing director, Olivia Pekla, gave us a tour and told us how they chose certain aspects.
We did a lot of research as to what exhibits were working in other museums, what weren't, and it was really important to us to stay on trend with what kids wanted to see and not to have exhibits that just kind of got bypassed, but were really integrated with softwares and activities that they would be excited about, and they would also take something that they learned from.
Pekla mentions that a unique aspect that sets the Children's Museum apart from others is the STEAM Lab, short for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math, which will be run in partnership with the High Point University Stout School of Education. We spoke with Colleen Arnold, education major at HPU, to hear what the STEAM Lab means to her.
As an education major, I'm so excited for the new possibilities the museum and STEAM Lab are opening for the children of High Point and all the kids in the surrounding areas.
Follow the High Point Children's Museum on social media and stay tuned for any updates.
This is Reese Allen for Q News.
As of now, the museum has no set opening date.
High Point University students have already faced many changes in this school year, but one change they were not expecting was how many magic meals they would be permitted per week. It came as a surprise to many High Point students that they no longer had 14 magic meals like they did last school year. But the most frustrating part about this dilemma is that students were not notified of this. Instead, many of them found themselves casually swiping their passports as they would in the past and running out of magic meals. Since we have now returned to 7 magic meals and 7 regular, it's best for students to be more aware of how they are swiping their passports. You can learn more about this in our mobile dining app under the section Magic Meals Explained.
Thanks for watching Q News. I'm Lizbeth Ramirez.
And I'm Shreya Rana. Up next is Q Sports.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hello everybody, your old pal Grover here with some health tips. Wash your hands throughout the day with soap and water for 20 seconds. Whoa. Also, practice physical distance by staying 6 feet away from people in public. And do not forget to wear a mask. And whoa! So that is where the soap went.
Caring for each other because we are all in this together.
Hello, and welcome to Q Sports. I'm Katie Gregory.
And I'm Hari Iyer. A huge change in college athletics happened this fall.
Recently, college athletes have been able to profit off their name, image, and likeness on many campuses, including here at High Point University. After a loss at the Supreme Court in late June, the NCAA started allowing collegiate athletes to sell their name, image, and likeness. Since July 1st, student athletes across the country have been dealing with brands to profit off of their athlete status, including here at HPU. With the new NIL protections, some HPU student athletes have profited from their own business signings and signing endorsement deals and partnering with local businesses. HPU Athletic Director Dan Hauser has said that the total amount of HPU athletes with the deal is relatively small, with an estimate of around 40 students. Although Hauser said he is surprised with some of the high-quality deals and doubts their true value, he is happy with how the NIL has been beneficial for both HPU students and the school.
The High Point University volleyball team has an 11-5 record, and they are just opening up conference play with the goal of repeating as Big South champions.
The volleyball team is looking to have another great season. The Panthers took a trip to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where they played number 4 Pitt and number 12 BYU. Despite getting swept by both of those teams, High Point was able to keep all of their sets close.
In our conference, we don't get that level of competition. So for us to have an opportunity to go somewhere and play a team that's really going to show us where we're struggling, really going to show us where we need to get better, was great.
The High Point Panthers have had a lot of success under fourth-year head coach Ryan Meek. High Point has won 2 Big South championships in 2018 and last season, and won its first NCAA tournament game in school history last season. They look to replicate their success from last season and improve their volleyball program.
I think the NCAA tournament win was the big one. I think we as a school have won Big South championships before, but I think the NCAA tournament win kind of put us on a different level as a program.
Despite losing libero Abby Bottomley and middle blocker Kaylee Ramelsberg, the Panthers filled those spots with LSU transfer Dylan Maybury and freshman Sydney Palazzo. Dylan, Sydney, and senior Gabrielle Eidelberg lead High Point in points and kills this season.
So Gabby is one of our returners, and she's been absolutely killing it this season, just like she has in her past seasons. And then Sydney is obviously a freshman, and she has really stepped into her role and provided for us big time here. So I'm very proud.
The Panthers' next game is this coming Friday on the road against Radford. They will open up the Mills Athletic Center as they will host Campbell on October 8th.
Up next on Q Sports, the women's soccer team is trying to keep their winning streak going, and we have the key players that can help them do that next.
And on Friday for the High Point men's
can party
soccer
with
team
people
as
as
they
long as they
hosted
don't have
Presbyterian and
symptoms.
tied 0-0. That's next on Q Sports.
I can party with people as long as they don't have symptoms. That myth is false. As we've seen, up to 40% of people who have COVID-19 are asymptomatic and can pass it on to others. So I'd recommend avoiding any social parties, especially indoor ones. If you want to try to socialize but reduce your risk, I'd recommend meeting outside in small groups, continuing to wear a mask, and socially distancing from others if you can. Then together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
High Point University women's soccer team is now officially in conference play. They are coming off a stellar spring season in 2021 and are coming into the season with a lot of high expectations. Reporter Wendell Epps has more on the story.
High Point University women's soccer team is coming off a stellar 2020 season that was pushed back to the spring of 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Panthers finished with a perfect 9-0 record in the regular season and made it all the way to the Big South Championship, where they ultimately fell short to the Campbell Fighting Camels by a score of 3-4. This year, the Panthers had their eyes set on not just getting back to the Big South Championship, but also taking home the trophy, making it to the NCAA tournament, and excelling in the NCAA tournament. The High Point women's soccer team is also known as a program that has produced the past 3 Big South Freshman of the Year players, and for a senior like Mazik, she has fully embraced the leadership role of mentoring the young freshmen and has been extremely impressed with what the new recruits this season have already brought to the table.
You know, they've definitely helped improve the team significantly since they've stepped foot on campus this fall.
Reporting for Q News, I'm Wendell Epps.
The High Point women's soccer team finally picked up a win on Saturday, shutting out Charleston Southern 4-0. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Vert Stadium, the Panthers got a victory for the first time since they defeated Longwood in the Big South semifinals. Magdalena Schwartz scored her second goal of this season to put High Point on the scoreboard. Then Skylar Perlman added another goal, and High Point went up 2-0. After that, Salome Pratt helped the Panthers pull away by scoring the third and fourth goals for High Point. Alex DePerno recorded 2 goals and 2 assists for HPU. High Point will host Winthrop on Wednesday at 7.
With HPU Family Weekend in full swing, the Presbyterian men's soccer team visited the Panthers last weekend in a defensive battle. In their first conference matchup, the Panthers and the Blue Hose were both unable to score in regular or overtime, ending in a 0-0 tie. Despite the pressure that the Panthers were able to put on, getting 16 shots off all game, Presbyterian goalkeeper Aiden Montour saved all 5 shots on goal. With only 7 shots on goal for the Blue Hose and 0 in goal, the Panthers defense held strong in return, taking the burden off goalkeeper Holden Trent for the night. Both teams are winless in conference as High Point travels to Garner-Webb next Saturday.
And that does it for Q Sports Tonight. I'm Hari Iyer.
And I'm Katie Gregory. Thanks for watching and have a great night.